You were talking about, okay, this is an indigenous vision, as it were. Ikaw yung Pilipinong naatasan to have a vision for this. On the other hand, you did also say that at the end, this was an international production, specifically with five currents
Five
ba?
currents,
Five
yes.
currents,
And
same.
Stagecraft and video
Video
songs.
Yeah,
song.
these are the same people as has been reported, worked on things like the London Olympics and so on. From your vision to handing off, working with, coordinating with, may problema ba ng lost in translation dyan? I mean, are there cultural problems as you start going from vision to execution?
Okay, it has been, there have been cultural problems, but it has been nothing but fun in a way. Like I was telling you earlier in the break, because of the systems that they have, which are very rigid and they value time very much, and they value the compartmentalization
Yeah.
of work. Little things like when a dancer would fix her own costume would kind of alarm them. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're a talent. We will fix your costume for you. But again, I would explain to them, that's Filipino resourcefulness. That's what we're trained to do. Hindi kami sanay na pag doon nandun yung gamit, ayusin na namin. We do what we can. And that was an interesting thing. I remember specifically one instance. If you notice the singkil, si Kenneth, the lead singkil prince,
Yes.
is known for tossing his sword
Yes,
in the air.
yes.
But he was not allowed to use his own sword because everything had to have the same look. So we produced beautiful swords. And the first thing he did when he got it, naglabas siya ng sandpaper. And very gently, because he
Ginaspangan niya.
needed to have the grip.
Ginaspangan niya.
Oh.
And you can't do that. Sabi nung
Ayaw
prop
nila.
manager, you can't, you're destroying a prop. And I was like, no, let them. It's part of that.
Yes.
So, yung maganda is in the sense that we learned how to work within systems. But in the end, they were just, sige na, pabayaan mo na. Sabi ko, because we will not purposely destroy anything. It's
Hindi,
really
gusto
just
ko yung kinuwento mo
resourcefulness.
kanina. Yung hemline.
Okay.
Yung ibang hemlines, mahahaba raw.
Of the hota skirts, because for the welcome dance, for that welcome the athletes, we insisted na for TV purposes, gawin nating 2 feet longer para pag sinisipa yung skirt. Maganda yung sword. The skirts arrive, and of course, nothing is ever perfect on a first fitting. And the young students, they all brought their own
Partible.
and started pinning at the right length. And I will really remember this dear Melissa, was her name. She's a costume mistress, and she's from Puerto Rico. And she was panicking. She was saying, "You're not supposed to do that. We will do that for you."
Cheap kami.
And the students were like, kaya po na, ginagawa po namin ito araw-araw. Kaya yan.
Partible.
But then at the same time, the other thing that I was very amazed at was their preparedness. The way they would insist that 4 hours lang ang rehearsal ng mga bata. 4 hours lang.
Yeah.
And of course, Filipinos are like, no, let's do it again. No.
Oo nga, hindi pa
They've been
pagod.
worked enough.
Correct.
Di ba?
Hindi pagod tayo, di ba?
It's funny because you realize that there are different ways of doing things pala in terms of production.
Yeah.
And you also realize, hey, I mean, galing pala natin. I mean, kaya natin
So
yung to
should we go that
extra
way, you
mile.
think? Or should we maintain
Actually, right now,
our
I was
work
talking with my...
ethic?
Ayun na nga eh.
Call it
I was
that.
the other thing that's interesting is that all the dancers, everybody, even the icons who carry the flag, everyone was on in-ear.
Oh.
Naka-in-ear lahat.
Really?
Yeah,
Para rinig na rinig
Rinig
nila
nila.
lahat.
And they were dancing to counts.
Oh, yes.
1, 2,
You
3.
have
So that
to.
in case anything happens
Yes.
in the auditorium or in that the sound goes
Yes.
out of there, they're still counting.
Yes.
So these are things that, and you realize, pera lang ito eh. You know, if we had the money, we would do production that way. And we would
Bakit
still
wala
have
ba tayong in-ear dito? Not enough.
Dami nun.
Oo nga.
500.
Yeah, that's work ethic. What about cultural sensitivity? So
Okay.
you have to deal with those things. I mean, these are 11 countries.
Okay. There was a department that worked on the protocols, which means getting the athletes in, but that happened on the day itself. There was, of course, coordination, how many athletes are coming, how many
Yes.
athletes, and that never happened.
Oh, yes.
It's The only other part where we had wanted sana yung finale, that we win as one.
Yeah.
We had wanted all the 11 Filipino talents dressed in stylized representations of the 11 other nations.
Oo.
And then we realized we were opening ourselves up to more mistakes. If
Baka
you do
magalit
that,
yung iba.
Baka magkamali ka pa sa something.
those were
Na bakit-
examples where you just err on the side of safety.